I will start my presentation. Let me first make a disclaimer that I am talking in my personal capacity because I am the member of Tax Advisory Council of the Institute and member of the Revenue Advisory Council of the Government of Pakistan. So whatever I am saying here, these are my personal views, not necessarily being the views of the firm or RAC or the Institute. These are my personal views. This is a disclaimer I want to make. The basic point I would like to discuss is that is it Jinnah's Pakistan? I am referring it to the respect, to its particular respect. I will be talking on tax collection and things like that. I will discuss later on. In a recent book, which has been printed on Mr. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, very recent book has been printed by Mr. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and it says that in 1936, he used to charge 1500 rupees per day. Per day. In 1936. And I read from here, it says that by 1936, he owned 7 rented flats in Mayfair and earned no less than 40,000 in dividends from stocks alone. What I want to stress is, he became one of the elite group of the Indian taxpayer whose income required super tax and as well as supplementary tax payments in 1936, Mr. Jinnah. The question I am asking is, are we the legacy of this man? Do our rulers and politicians pass the test of leadership if we look at their tax return, if any? And compare it with Mr. Jinnah's. Unfortunately, we are talking nonsense in a very long time. We are talking on things which are not relevant, but what I want to stress is, let us look at the Mr. Jinnah's return. He was the highest taxpayer in 1936. This was the man who made this country. And now we are talking like this. How long we will be talking the lies? How long we will talk the lies? Bulle Shah ne kaha tha, चिट्टी चादर लासट कुड़िए पहन फकीरा लोई, चिट्टी चादर दाग लगे सी लोई दाग ना कोई. इसका मतलब ये है कि अब हमें झूठ बोलना छोड़ देना चाहिए और जो कपड़े हमारे हकीकत है, औकात है, वो हमें सामने लाने चाहिए. We should learn to live within our means and tell our people that this country was made by a man being the highest taxpayer of his time. We talk about different things, but we don't talk about that what kind of people have made this country. We have gone into the spheres of ideologies and things like that. Now I come to the federal revenue targets. Federal taxes have been estimated at 16.7 billion as against the target of 1380 billion for the year 2009 and 10. Actual collection is expected to be 1350. This revenue target will be around 10% of GDP. There is no change, sir. You know and I know this. The primary question is whether or not the measures announced in the budget will improve the tax to GDP ratio, and that in a meaningful way. The answer is emphatic no. I do not expect the same in the short run. I would, however, be really worried, sir, if the direction is wrong or there is no direction. And this seems to be the later case. The increase in the revenue collection over the last year is 287 billion. Out of the same, 200 billion is expected from inflation of around 10% and 4% growth in GDP. The remaining recovery of 80 billion is from obsolete and traditional ways of balancing the revenue collection. These are not expected to provide vibrancy, efficiency, elasticity, earnestly required in our tax collection system. The question is, in the tax policy sphere, are we going anywhere? I think we are not going anywhere, and we have made big mistake of not having any direction. And I would admit it, this is not the question of direction of one government. In the revenue collection system, we have not had any direction for a very long time. And we have been constantly saying what direction we require. A very important thing which is being missed, and I would love if Mr. Sarrao would have been here, and I have made this slide only for him. a substantial portion of tax collection is being made through twisting the arms of the genuine taxpayer. A very big portion of this tax collection is being made by twisting my arms and people who are sitting in this hall. An English economist said that the art of taxation consists in so plucking the goose as to obtain the largest possible amount of feathers with the smallest possible amount of hissing. We are killing the goose. This is the tragedy. The tragedy is, this is the issue which we are not at. Around 50 to 70 billion rupees has been raised through orders and assessments which are not maintainable in the court of law, and the recoveries, if made against these orders, will ultimately be refundable. The trend, this is a trend which existed in early 90s and died down with the introduction of the income tax ordinance 2001, has again cropped up. In these circumstances, the real recovery of the taxes is to be taken at around 1260 and 13 billion for the year 2009 and 2010. So actually we know what actually has been recovered in the real means and what actually has not been recovered in the actual means, because all of the people are here are basically the taxpayers. We know how much money has been extracted from us by twisting our arms. The orders are being passed day to day, and I was saying to Mr. Mastood Naqvi yesterday night that every day I am sitting in the court of law. For the last 1 week I am going to the High Court on a daily basis. One or at least one of my cases fixed in the High Court for stay for the last almost 1 week. Do we have a conducive environment for recovery of the sum of rupees 16 billion? The answer is no. Let us admit it. The problem is this: in this country, politicians, traders, tax advisors, and above all, the bureaucracy is benefiting from the present system at the cost of common man of Pakistan. सर हम भी पार्टी हैं, मैं मुझे तो जो मैं जितने केस करता हूँ मुझे फीस मिलती है. आई एम हैप्पी टेक्निकली स्पीकिंग. Technically speaking, I am happy. But if we really want to expand the tax base, this is a joint venture which needs to be broken. This is a joint venture between the traders, lobbies, bureaucracies, tax advisors and politicians which need to be broken. Otherwise, there will be no meaningful improvement in tax collection. Now I come to the indirect tax side, the basic issue on indirect taxation side. In my view, the mismanagement of custom duty structure in Pakistan is one of the fundamental reasons for the decline in industrial activity in Pakistan. This has happened consciously after 1970s. अगर आज हम बहुत बातें करते हैं इंडस्ट्रियल ग्रोथ की, एम्प्लॉयमेंट की, सब चीज़ों की, मगर आप अगर इसको एनालाइज करें तो 1970s के बाद से हमने कॉन्शियसली इस मुल्क में इंडस्ट्रियल एक्टिविटी को कभी प्रमोट नहीं किया. नेवर. द डिबेट अबाउट कॉस्ट ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस इज करेक्ट. हाउएवर वी आर इग्नोरिंग द बेसिक फैक्ट that our cottage and small scale industry that provides the bulk of urban employment has suffered on account of import, trade incentive custom regimes. This is not a rocket science, it's a glaring fact. आज देखिए हम जो लोग बैठे हैं ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में बैठे हैं, हम एम्प्लॉयमेंट का बहुत छोटा पोर्शन प्रोवाइड करते हैं. जो पाकिस्तान की रियल सफरिंग आई है वो कॉटेज एंड स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री खत्म हो गई है बिकॉज ऑफ चाइना ट्रेड, because of Swiss border, because of advising, which I will explain in the following slides. We are constantly told that under the present global economic system, there cannot be any protection for the local industry by way of duty structure, as we have to be compliant with WTO standards. There should not be a tariff barrier. I totally agree with this. However, what is the tariff barrier in a particular case is subject to very intensive study by technical experts. We are all aware that the most relevant but toothless organization in Pakistan is National Tariff Commission. आप लोगों ने किसी ने नाम भी नहीं सुना होगा कि दफ्तर कहाँ है उसका. हमारे मुल्क में CBI वाला डिसाइड करता है ड्यूटी कितनी होनी चाहिए. वो तो कलेक्टर है भाई, उसे क्या पता. The tariff rate is determined by CBI. Supposed to be organization to determine the effective duty structure, the preference of trade versus industry. शाजी साहब बैठे मेरे बुजुर्ग हैं.